Well, we all just watched it together. There's no way we can get around that. That's for sure. The timeline was bumping. We were all in our minds looking at Citizens Bank Park on a Wednesday evening, up 2 games to none. Not the case. The Phillies end up losing a tough one, a game they absolutely should have won in Atlanta. Still, series tied up at one apiece. Luke Arcaini covers the Phillies for us here on The Gambler. I am Sean Brace. Luke, when I say that the whole plan of attack was to go down there and take one, what do you say to that?
I mean, it sucks. Realistically, the whole time, all you wanted down there was a split. But when you go up 4-0 and Zach Wheeler goes hitless through 5 2/3, it's a split hurts. Which really sucks. A split just flat out hurts. That game, that's one of the more painful Phillies games I've watched in a while. And they
absolutely
they had 10 hits, something like that, and they it's just brutal, man. Can't happen. Some questionable decisions. It's going to be talked about. Thank God we have a game in 2 days because it's going to. I mean, the only thing that's going to be talked about tomorrow is should Zach Wheeler have stayed in. I'm still on the train that Rob Thompson made the right decision. I think everybody got on Rob Thompson last year for pulling him against Yordan Alvarez in Game 6 of the World Series. And tonight you leave your guy in who has 10 strikeouts and 1 hit allowed. Got knocked around, and then you let up the home run to. Oh God, who hit that home run? My brain is just like
Travis
Arno hit the 2-runner off of Wheeler in the 7th to make it 4-3, and then just bad pitches. Hoffman's been great this year, man. It's Hoffman's your decision there 100 out of 100 times.
You would like to believe you stay low in the zone and you're all right, but I guess it caught too much of the plate. But there's
no world where I'm not throwing Jeff Hoffman in that situation. Yeah, I would if you gave me that situation again 100 out of 100 times, Jeff Hoffman's in there every time. Just made a bad pitch, and Austin Riley is a good baseball player. It's that simple.
One-handed.
Yeah, it stinks, man. That was just like I felt like that ball was in the air for 10 minutes. Like he hit that ball, and I swear it was just flying in the air for 10 minutes.
The call too, the announcer call. Forgive me, I don't know who the play-by-play guy was, but I mean, I kind of knew right from jump that was getting out of the park, and the way he was hanging on to it was like almost like, all right, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, and it's going to stay. Maybe he had warning track power, but I thought that ball was crushed. I mean, he got a lot of torque on it with one hand.
Yeah, he kind of just put the bat out and poked, and it seemed like it just hit the right spot of the bat. Sometimes it happens. But hindsight, right? It's hard right now, but the Phillies did what we asked them to do. They went in, took a split. Go back to Citizens Bank for 2 games. Aaron Nola on the mound to get you up 2-1 on Wednesday. It hurts. It does. But it sucks. It hurt. I didn't say a word from the second that home run hit in the 8th all the way until the game was done.
Essentially,
we got Topper lost the game in the 7th here. Alvarado should have been in for Olsen 10.
Well, yeah, you know what? Mark, I stand with Mark on this one. I will tell you this much, that it was going when you're a manager in that situation, you got to make the difficult call. You have to, right? And most of the time, it's worked out when Topper's been aggressive. Here's an opportunity. Wheeler strikes out 10. He gets to a double digits. And I know you could probably throw it back in my face. Well, he just struck out a guy, but talk about what that pitch was. He was relying on the slider or the slurve. It wasn't like the high power fastball. So I kind of was in the back of my head going, all right, are they going to make a move? I'm not going to play manager from my couch. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I was saying take him out, but that's on Topper. You got to make the tough decisions. And if he did pull Wheeler at that moment, nobody's second guessing him. There's not one person out here that's going, oh, they should have kept Wheeler in because he would have went the distance. He would have went through the 9th. Nobody would have said that.
No.
So
And
you know,
and
he's got to eat on this one a little bit.
Yeah, he's gonna. And I do get it. Matt Olson, I was a bit surprised. Matt, it just felt like possibly that was the move coming there. To go to a guy like Alvarado for Olson there. Matt Olson crushes both guys, whether it's a righty or lefty. So he has a significantly better splits against righties, but that comes with it. So I don't know, man. It's tough. It's hard. Braves are good. The Braves showed tonight why they were. The Braves showed tonight why they were the best offense in the history of baseball. They found hits and they hit home runs. That's all they did tonight.
I'll give them that. I'll give them that. And then it was 5 unanswered, but you got to come back to, the one that we got to highlight the most. And it's not the pitching decision or leaving Wheeler in there. It's the fact that the Phillies could not convert 11 runners left on base in a playoff game.
It's 11 runners on, 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
That's it. I mean, that's the highlight. You highlight that stat, and that tells you all. And I really was hoping that the Phillies were going to pull this game out so I could come back at not everybody. I wasn't going to add everybody, but just come on the top of the timeline saying, all you people that kept on losing your mind over runners on scoring or runners left on base, look, they pulled out the victory. They're up 2-0. Relax, let a game play out. But at the end of the game, they were right. It ended up coming back to bite the Phillies in the backside there. You got to convert. You have to in the playoffs. You got to score runs.
Yeah. You can't give, especially a team like the Braves, right? You can't give the Braves a chance to come back and win that game. I can't remember exactly what inning it was, but there was one inning where we stranded. I believe it might have been 2. It was around the middle of the game, and I just kind of said, like, that one's going to come back to haunt us. It felt like it, and you started to get these lingering hits, and I don't know, something just felt off. It felt like even as the Braves were even as the Braves were down 4-0, as the Phillies went on and kept leaving runners in scoring position, it just felt like that stadium was just, every little bit of chance was getting back into them, and they were slowly just thinking, hey, maybe this game's not over yet. And it felt
I never got that vibe. When the only time I got the negative vibe was when Acuna got on base with the hit bat. The hit by pitch. That was it. That was the only time I'm like, shit, this might not be good here. And it happened. But like I said, I was ready to come back and say, all you people that were yelling about runners left on base, like, dude, they play 9 innings. They're not going to get everybody home. It happens. But, as I sit here now and we're playing Monday morning quarterback after the game's over, of course, you have to highlight the decision to leave Wheeler in there. Your bullpen has been a plus all season long, especially what you just did in game 1. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you have any friends that are actually Braves fans. I didn't get a one text message on Saturday. Not one.
I don't know a Braves fan. I don't think they exist. Well, I really don't think
lived down south for a little bit, so yeah, that's why. I got 3 text messages. I'm like, oh, your phone's working tonight, huh? I mean, look, we could kill each other over it. It sucks. That's a tough loss, but this team isn't like, if this was a young team, this was a team that didn't know any better, didn't have any purpose, I would be worried that it could carry over. Citizens Bank's going to be on fire. They're going to be rolling in. The boys will be ready to go. Aaron Nola on the mound. Who's going for the Braves?
That'll be Bryce Elder on Wednesday. And that will now confirm that Spencer Strider will make his return to Citizens Bank Park on Thursday. So
that's
if Strider really doesn't want these fans in the stadium, then he's getting the complete opposite of that Thursday night, because that place is going to be coming at that dude in game 4.
I thought for sure they were sweeping him.
Man, oh my God. Man.
I thought for sure they were sweeping him.
It hurts, man.
Yeah, I just had the vibe. I'm like, this team, and then when they go up and they score the runs, the first inning, the way everything started, Wheeler struck out the first 6, snap of the fingers, he got 7 strikeouts. Yeah. I'm like, this team is destined.
Dude, I had Wheeler 5+ Ks in a parlay, and I hit the first 5 outs of the game. I was like, I had a parlay with Trey, Castellanos, JT, and Wheeler 5+ Ks. I hit when the second inning was over, the entire parlay. I hit the whole
ridiculous.
thing. They all recorded in the first two. It was
Well, Trey got you 2 bases right off the jump,
Trey,
first at bat.
Yeah. It was hey, I mean, don't like to be that guy, but it was a good betting night. It wasn't a great Phil's night, but it was a good betting night. So
I know you had a couple of those
wins.
legs. You had a couple legs on the money line, and that was
two of them were the money line, but we still did have some other ones as well. Mark Henry Jr. Shout out to him with the Phillies first 5,
there you go.
+0.5. Never a doubt.
Yeah, he
money
checked
line,
in too. He said Wheeler's velocity was dipping the inning before. I agree. Like, that's my point, where it's like, man, we're so much better equipped to read whether or not you need to get a pitcher out, do the analytics and taking a deeper dive into the numbers. And like I said, it's been a plus for them. This bullpen's no joke. Go to it. Get the ball to your bullpen. I know Hoffman gave it up. I get it, but
I can't take any more crushing jumping catches against the wall in right center.
Yeah,
man.
let's talk about that for a second.
Can we not do those anymore?
My wife's like, "What is Harper doing?" I'm like,
got Chaz McCormick flashbacks, man.
Yeah,
that's literally all I thought. Dude, I wasn't even watching Harper get thrown out. I was literally sitting there just, dude, I swear to you, Sean, I'm sitting there just staring at my TV and I'm just like, I swear it was like out of a movie. I just got like a flashback to just McCormick Game 5 of the World Series or Game 4. Just oh God, man. And then the final out. Listen, I get it. I'm not crazy against what Harper was doing there.
No, not at all. If that ball falls, he's scoring.
That ball has about a 10% catch probability there. Probably not even. That's a really hard play that Michael Harris made. Not many outfielders make that play. So the bottom line is, if Harper is waiting to tag there and he drops that ball, he only gets to second base. If that ball falls and Harper runs on contact, it's a tie baseball game. So while it's frustrating to get doubled up there, it's a risk you got to take, seeing where that ball's going. And realistically, off the bat, I don't think anybody thought that ball was being caught. That sure looked like a ball in the gap to me. That almost looked like a home run to me, man. I thought that ball maybe had a shot to get out.
Well, it was just, as soon as it popped to the outfielders, and next thing they're racing back, I'm like, that's when I stood up. I'm like, oh my God, did he do it? Did he do it? And then a hell of a grab. And like you said,
Castellanos had a good night at the plate too. 2 hits, and his other 2 outs were 2 pretty hard hit balls to the outfield. Just a little more, man. Morning track power, I guess, tonight.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, you tip your cap to Atlanta for winning that game, but there's no doubt in my mind that the Phillies gave that game up, and that's a game that they all will look themselves in the mirror on the plane ride home and, have that conversation inside their own brain by, simply saying that, like, man, we blew that game. That's we should be up 2-0 coming home to the bank.
But you got to put it behind you.
Immediately, but there's no way they're sipping enough tequila right now.
No, but you can't.
Tomorrow,
man. You gotta
get that case. You gotta get to the yard. You gotta get to the yard, get some BP, get the juices going, have some fun. Get some smiles going again. But there ain't no one smiling right now. I mean, 4-0.
My biggest thing going into
Wheeler
Wednesday
struck out 10. 4-0. Wheeler strikes out 10,
and you lose,
and you don't win that game.
No. It's brutal, man. You can't waste the Wheeler starts. We've seen it so many times now the last few years in the playoffs. Waste the Wheelers. The last 2 years. They lost one of Wheeler's World Series starts. They lost tonight. They lost the game in San Diego. Can't waste your Wheeler starts, man. He's your best pitcher on your team. Can't waste it. Especially just in that situation, having the early 4-0 lead with 10 strikeouts. But this Phillies team has to come out firing on Wednesday. They have to put runs up. They have to put this team away. You can't give them any sort of life on Wednesday. It has to be foot on the gas, foot on the throat, like straight at these dudes. Like, you have to. You have no other option. You can't send Bryce Elder out, a young kid, and let him get any sort of comfortable in that stadium or any sort of comfortable in that game. Take away the crowd of Citizens Bank Park, because that's a whole nother story, right? That's the best atmosphere in all of sports, right? You cannot let a kid no matter where he's pitching, get comfortable. You cannot let a kid at that age just go up there and start firing past you with nothing to lose. You have to jump on this kid. Schwarber's got to get these extra base hits and these homers going. I need a Schwarber in game 3. He's got to start this game off. Got to set the tone. I need runs in the first inning, and I just need runners in scoring position to be capitalized with. You cannot strand 11 runners on base in a game that you're up 4-0. That game should have been 10-0, man.
Yep.
That game had the chance to be 10-0 after 5 innings.
I know you got text messages. I was getting text messages. I'm in 2 group chats. We're talking the game, and everyone said it's like should be 6-0, should be 8-0, blah blah blah. It's like
at one point it felt like it should have been like 9-0 after 3 innings. Like, look, it just can't happen. Man.
You definitely got to get the bats going. You're right about that. Got to score more runs than what they Strider's no joke. So that's 3. Should they have scored more today? Absolutely. So give me north of 4, right? Give me north of 4. Citizens Bank Park, Aaron Nola on the mound. Look, we know what he did against Miami in his last start, but he's been hot. His last 3 starts, 19 2/3, 13 hits, 3 earned, 1 walk, 19 strikeouts, 1.37 ERA, 0.72 whip. Dude's been dialed in. It doesn't get any bigger. This is his biggest start of his career right here, right now.
Yep. No doubt.
His career right here, right now.
No doubt.
And they'll know it. He'll know it. And we'll know it because that bank will be on fire.
Be on fire. And I'll tell you right now, it is the best damn place on this whole earth to play a baseball game or any sporting event. I'll tell you that right now. So,
answer this question from Beef. Worst loss, Phillies game 2 or Sixers game 6?
You didn't have to remind me of that game tonight, too, man. Come on.
6 was tough, dude.
Sixers.
Sixers.
Because the Phillies are because I actually have confidence in the Phillies winning this series still.
Yeah.
So, second, the Sixers lost game 6. They lost game 7. They didn't even have to play game 7. There was truly no point of them even playing game 7 that night. But I digress. So, yes, we'll be Aaron Nola versus Bryce Elder. Game 3 Wednesday night. I believe it's a 5 o'clock start.
5 o'clock start on Wednesday, 6 o'clock start on Thursday. And
do we have an opening line yet on DraftKings?
As you said, there will be a Thursday night game now. So that's I'm going to that game. I will be at that game.
Nice. So the Phillies, there is an opening line out on DraftKings Sportsbook. The Phillies are the technical favorite on the money line at -122. But on the run line, they are +1.5 at -192. So the Phillies, I mean, I guess you could say they are the technical favorite in quotes, but this is sort of a toss-up game on the books as of right now. Pretty surprising to me that the odds don't go a little more in our favor with Nola on the mound at home. And
they're flashing a 9, a total coming in at 9, man. That's a big number for the playoffs.
It's a mash night. It's Orioles Rangers is set at 9 tomorrow night as well. I just saw that.
It's supposed to be 70 and sunny too on Wednesday.
Oh, ball go boom Wednesday.
It's gonna be a gorgeous day at the ball yard.
It's got to be a win.
How about the Diamondbacks already trailing 3-0? They what that in the first inning?
D-backs are.
Dude, they're winning. D-backs scored 3 in the first, I think.
Yeah, dude, the Dodgers might just stink.
Oh, I think the Diamondbacks might be good too.
The Diamondbacks may be good, but I think the Dodgers might just stink. I mean, we talked about it. They don't have the pitching, man. They don't have the arms to throw out in a 5-game series. Like they just don't have
to make that clip of Jansen saying, "There is no way the Dodgers are losing this series."
What do you say? I bet my life on it or something?
Yeah, something like that. I'll have to go back and pull it. It was in the hour that you were with us. Actually, 2 hours. So it was in the first hour, though. I remember.
Dude, so all right. Well, what? Real quick, what happened today? Fire in the place or what? All of a sudden, my line cuts out, and I'm like, what the?
So did you even try to call back?
I tried, and it went like right to voicemail. It like didn't even let me call back.
Wild. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that had something to do. I really don't think it did have anything to do with that, but yeah, I don't know.
Like a power flick, maybe. Like, is that why? I don't know, man.
I have no idea. We're doing a live show, ready to go, 5 o'clock hour, and the next thing you know, boom. all shit hit the fan there, and it was like 7 fire trucks outside our place, and everybody. We literally had to leave. Now I've been in radio for a long time. You deal with these fire alarms going off all the time, and they don't make sounds inside the radio booth, but they're flickering all that. And I'm like, I'll still do the show. And then next thing you know, one of our guys came in. He's like, no, everyone's got to go. I'm like, all right, we're out. See ya. Go Phils. All right. Crazy. So look, we'll connect tomorrow. We'll get that going on the Daily Ticket. Of course, maybe we'll record even earlier than that for a new episode of Luke and I on the Phillies. Any final thoughts before we get out of here? Are we trying to spread the good vibes? Or are we just going to eat this one for the evening?
We're going to eat it for the evening, but when it comes down to it, this was the goal all along, right? Split in Atlanta, take one in Atlanta, take game 1, go back home, get 2 games now at Citizens Bank Park, right? They've said it. It's tough to play in the jungle. The Braves don't want to come back here. They don't want to play 2 games here, no matter what happened tonight. So the Phils just need to come out ready on Wednesday. And if they do that, I think they're still in good shape here.
Yeah, there's a lot of obvious comments out there on the social media timeline, which is like, people want to go ahead and tweet the obvious, of course. It would have been great if they won that game. Gee, you think? Anyways, it's on to the next game 3. Aaron Nola on the mound. It doesn't get any bigger than this, and I look forward to it, man. I look forward to covering it all with you over the next 2 days. We'll break it all down tomorrow. A little bit more of a recap, more in-depth conversation, but we had to get that reaction going right here.
That raw emotion here. I was a mess, man.
If I could yell one thing about the Green Bay Packers, their offense sucks.
What's that looking like right now?
It's like 10-3, I think, at halftime. Jordan Love throwing the ball like 6 yards.
I'll tell you what, the last thing I'm going to do tonight is go watch the second half of a Green Bay Packers Las Vegas Raiders game.
I got mine.
It's the last thing I'm doing, man.
I got Green Bay in. I took Watson on a couple props. So hopefully a big second half lighted up in Vegas. And we'll be back tomorrow. Brand new Daily Ticket at 3 p.m. Luke will be on. Luke, enjoy the rest of your night, sir. Try to get some rest. We'll talk tomorrow, my friend.
Yes, sir. Go Phils.
Go Phils, everyone. Good night.